Hey, welcome back everybody, I'm Scott. These are the bricks, and let's go to review straight from the Legends of Italia. We're going straight back to another land with the Ferrari 488 GTE, and of course, number 51. Lego set number 42125. Let's check this out.
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, that's Ferrari.
And here we have Lego's attempt at making its own Ferrari F88 or F88, which, for some fun facts, is the first time that Ferrari returned back to the V8 twin turbocharged engine, since the F40 was the first one to kind of do that, or I think it was the last one they did it in. I'm not really sure about that fact. It can go to 310 miles per hour, apparently that's what the box says, and it can go from 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. So this is the endurance racing version of it, the GTE, and as you can tell by the livery on the car, it is a racing car. 57 stickers in total, and it is 1,682 pieces. And not bad, actually. You do have 2 printed pieces here, and the stickers weren't that hard to put on. They're very large, so it's very easy. You don't really fuck up that much. And it comes in the red. It has some blues, has some blacks, has some whites, and a little bit of yellow. So you're not just stick with all red Ferrari, but the main frame of the body is mainly black. But build-wise, it was very similar to the RSR. Most Technic sets are, but the building of the actual body does take a little differences because it's different body style. I will say this though, the building experience on this was a lot easier and smoother than it was on the RSR, because the RSR came in non-numbered bags. This one came in numbered bags, so it made everything more organized and everything a lot more neater. And I just enjoyed this building experience for this car. Overall, pretty solid in presentation-wise. We will dig at more details and some of the cool little playabilities you have on this set. But yes, this is the 488 from Ferrari GTE. So let's go ahead and dig into some simple, things about the car. Okay, so this is a mid-engine car, so the engine is not going to be in the front here. So this bonnet or hood does not actually move up. And the only complaint about it, I have to say, is that this piece right here, you do have to tuck this in when you build it, because it comes in a weird angle. It tucks in, it tucks out, and it clamps back on. Easily to mess up. I noticed this mess up because when I was putting on the actually 2 printed pieces for the headlights, there was a huge gap here. And then once you realize that you have a huge gap, you're doing it wrong. You just got to tuck it in and kind of fold it, which is kind of weird, but it's okay. It gets going. These are printed pieces, by the way, as stated earlier, and nothing really moves up here, but you just have this nice white that offsets it. And the stickers look nice. I like all the branding. I like all the 51. I like the sponsors and whatnot. You do have this wonderful, wonderful flex text right here for the actual diffuser for the front end, which is wonderful for the aerodynamics. You have that blue on the front, which is fantastic. And that's pretty much it for the front side. Oh, you gotta really enjoy that non-windshield piece right here, but you gotta really enjoy that Ferrari right there. I love that yellow. It really clashes well with the whole set. Okay, let's look at some of the door panelings. And here on the side, you can tell from this wonderful side view that you have 2 tires on each side. You have some nice generic looking Technic ones really for the rims and whatnot. They do come in black, so the tires come in. And on the back fender here, you have nothing much. You have the red, which is kind of wonderful. No stickers here, kind of weirdly, but you think there'd be some, but there are not. And I do like how this fender is actually 2 pieces. It has a nice little rolled fender right here, and it goes onto the normal Technic fender piece right there, which is really wonderful. I think it adds more definition and really does give a more nice natural car look with that as well. Then you have your side over here, but taillights. The weakest part though are the side skirts, which I do hate because they are not stable on here. They're really clamped on there by these pieces right here. I do not know their names, probably should look it up, but they're clicked on with these little pincers, and it doesn't really click well, and when you move it, they easily come off. So that's probably the biggest con I have on that side. And right here as well is the gappiness for the doors. Doors do open and swing as always. You do have your side view mirrors. And on the inside of the cockpit here, there is nothing actually in there except for a piece of hair. They really kept the passenger side kind of bare. Nothing really special about that part because it's really just a single pilot car, single driver car. But they kind of took that out, I guess, reduce speed. I really took that out because it's not really necessary, and it's there. But yeah, so that's your door. It's the extent that you can go without hitting the top fender, which actually doesn't have the roll one the same as that one does. So it just kind of comes that way. Got your mirror. Got your stickers here, which look wonderful, and then you have the flex, which forms the nice curvature of the side view. But that's it for this side. Let's go to the back end of the car. And the rear end of the car is pretty cool. You have some wonderful, wonderful color differences here. So you don't just have that only Ferrari red, which is unique, well, it's Ferrari, you get the red, but you don't have that. It really breaks up the monotony. I know a lot of people actually in the set, when I was talking about it online, they didn't care to put the stickers on it. They actually kind of just rather have it as just a 488, which I get that. If you like this set, if you like Ferraris and you want a 488 and you don't want the GTE version, you can simply take off just the stickers and just have it as red. In my opinion, I think the matteness of the actual red is just too matte and it doesn't look that well. I would rather have a nice and shiny brick or a gloss finish, and I think the stickers are nice and glossy, so it gives off that finish well. And that's what I kind of see. So you do get a break up of that repetition of the red here with the blue and the yellows. Love it. I love the Ferrari emblem right here. It's also a sticker, not a printed piece. You have the spoiler in the back, which is actually very accurate, very simple, and probably the easiest spoiler I ever made. And I really enjoy this piece. It's not crooked either. And then you have your diffuser, which I actually messed up because it uses 12 of these little bad boys, these little Technic pieces right here, which is 12 of those, and I had a big pile next to me, and I was like, what's with all these? Where do they go? And then I found out that they actually go in here because it's actually some Lego pieces, some nice flat, I think it's 4x8s or 4x6s. Yeah, 4x6s are right here, and it just kind of layers down, but you clicked out on some Technic pieces on the bottom for this wonderful detailed diffuser, which I love. They use these flag pieces right here for the flaps, and then you have two silver tips, tubes for the actual exhaust bit. That's pretty much it for the rear end. Let's look at that engine now. And right here we have the engine bay, which is actually a big exposed area, and I think the reason why is because, from what I remember correctly, and this is quoting Top Gear, they like to have the engine area, Ferrari does, like to have the engine area, or the engine bay, kind of visible by the eye when they have their mid-engine cars, so that by a glass case or whatnot, so, or a plexiglass case, whatever it is, so you can see the craftsmanship of the engine and see it as it goes. So I'm pretty sure this is probably what the F88 does as well. And for the racing version, it looks like they have a little roll cage or some type of bracing thing to keep it from really shattering and to sway it and the work and all like that, so in case it gets an accident or whatnot, you don't want to have glass or plex like that on the track. So you have this instead, which is pretty unique. They use the normal gray tubing right here that kind of gets to it. It's not silver or anything, it's just gray. Some wonderful silver tubing right here. You do have your V8 right there in the middle, and when you turn the wheels, of course it works. As you can see, those pistons pumping. Now I know also that what you can do is you can always put in a Technic motor in here and make this motorized, but if you do, I recommend that you lube it up a little bit. I don't think you're going to go that fast that you melt it away, but I wonder if people actually do that. I would recommend them lube it, but the Technic motors don't actually go that fast anyway. But yes, you get a wonderful look of the engine right here, and especially of the whole top of itself, and I really like that. And honestly, I really enjoy this right here, this nice armoring right here. I love the way these wings look like that. I think this looks fantastic and a wonderful job, and I think that I just wish they did that a little bit better of a job of closing up these gaps and making it really flow on these sides with the doors. With that being said, let's look inside of the car next. So unlike the RSR, this one is actually lacking a lot of detail in my professional opinion of talking shit about. Oh, look at that fucking thing came off. Isn't that fantastic? Wonderful Lego craftsmanship right here. Trust me, it's great. So anyway, unlike the RSR, which actually has a lot of detail in the actual cockpit of the car, this one does not. You do have some stickers and labels right here on the dash, which are, standard, and you do have your steering wheel, which does work. It does take a minute for you to actually turn the tires. They do turn very well. But you just gotta keep spinning that bad boy over, and they do turn. And then on here you have the one seat, which is a normal seat. I actually really hate making seats, so I was very happy that this was the only one. And the inside you have some nice Technic pins to kind of hold it together. It's this part right here. I usually hold it up like that when I was carrying it with just a frame. It's very unstable and it can easily pop up. This whole console is very wobbly and not secure, and also can kind of move around as well. And it's just held up by one pin and then two more pins right here, so I'm not really a big fan of that. But no, there's nothing really to talk about when it comes to the actual inside of the car. There's not a lot of detail. You don't have a shifter, you don't have anything like that. I'm pretty sure it probably uses paddle shifters anyway. But yeah, it has a steering wheel so it can turn, and there's no extra stickers, no extra cool things like the RSR happens. And if you bend this back a little bit, you can see how the whole frame goes. But yeah, not as detailed as the RSR is, so kind of lackluster on the cockpit. Okay. And a little side note is this is the underside. It shows you the main frame of the actual car, which is pretty basic for all of Technics. You can put one of those lovely, 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 lovely wall hanging pieces on there. I don't remember the actual name of the piece, but they include it with the Batman Batwing, which is cool. And you can probably put it right here or there, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hang it up on my wall. But on the bottom here, you do have the engine, which you can see it's full work. You have the transmission and the limited diff, which is really cool right here. So you can turn it in two different sides, and that works just well. And yeah, there is that diffuser I was talking about. It is just the 4x6s right here built on top of these wing pieces, which are really cool, the blade pieces. But yeah, that's the bottom side. Nothing really special, but you do get to see some more inner workings of the car, which is wonderful. Okay, let's talk about the whole thing, like just the whole body period. And when you put all those things together, you get a Ferrari 488, which actually is a pretty decent Lego Technic set. It's sturdy. Does have a little shake to it. You can twist and turn the body. It does roll, which is wonderful, and you do have a shock suspension system, so it does bounce when you push it, which I think is awesome because you can rock this baby pretty well. That's smooth. And when you do roll it, it is a little stiff. So when you get that motor on it, it probably will not run as fast. Like I said, if I want to lube this bad boy up, but no, it's actually a pretty damn good set. I know people say it has some inaccuracies to the 488, but I don't really know because I don't have a 488, can't really tell you. And I didn't really study the 488 as much as I probably should have for this review, but that's okay. We're here to talk about this Lego set. And yes, do I think it's better than the 911 RSR? No, I like that build a little bit better, and I like the finished product better because that one had more detail. This one has a lot of details with the stickers, which are actually pretty cool. 57, which is kind of annoying, but honestly, they weren't annoying because they weren't that small. They're kind of big and easy to put on. But no, the RSR just had a lot of better build details with a lot of the cockpit and whatnot, so I just like that one better. And it's the same size as the RSR, so it'll look perfectly on the wall next to each other, and I think it's just another fine addition to the Technic set. And for $200, you can't go wrong because honestly, it's 1,600 pieces, so you're getting a lot of value for this set, which is really dope. And yes, that is the 488. So, final thoughts is, yeah, go ahead and pick it up. I think you should. For right now, it's $200. So before they rise that price up on it or that it retires, I think it might retire soon. I don't know officially. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I don't think it's going to last that long. Go pick it up if you can. This is the Ferrari 488 GTE. It gets a plus for me. It gets an approval for me. A pretty dope Technic set. And for fans of Ferrari or endurance racing, you're going to love it. The build wasn't complicated. I would definitely do it for more intermediate, more moderate people who know what they're doing. Kids, probably not, but if you have a kid and you want to do it with them, do it if they like this kind of stuff. But no, this is perfect. This is actually really fun for those intermediate level builders for Technic. And so that's everything I can say. Pretty decent set. Go get it. I don't think I'm getting another one. I think this one's the only one for me. And that's all I can say for set 42125, the Ferrari 488 GTE, the AF course number 51. I'm Scott. Those were the bricks, and that was the review. Thank you for watching as always. Thank you for supporting the channel and for supporting me morally. I appreciate that. Like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's cool, but I'd appreciate it if you did. That's pretty dope. And tune in for next time as we look at more Legos. Thank you for watching. Thanks.